What's up, War Rapport family? We are here post game 60 to not 0. But we did, do a good job in the first half getting the goose egg, but 60 to 10. We're here, man. Post game reaction, Auburn versus Akron. If you are not already doing the stuff that you're supposed to be doing, you need to be sharing this video right now because we are here having a post game party. I am tripping because I don't have a drink right now. But the only reason that is because I'm here solo with my son and I don't need to be intoxicated with the little boy running around. But if you are, wherever you are, you need to be getting your weight up and your drinks up, post-game shots wherever you are. Like and subscribe, all the good stuff that we normally do. Guys, how are we feeling post-game? Once again, C-Dub not here with us tonight because he is in the post-game presser. Yeah, we got them official press credentials. You know how we roll. War Rapport doing big things. How we feeling though, fellas?
I'm here to ask the War Rapport family for some grace. Are y'all willing to give me the shutout on this one?
No, it's not a shutout. No, the defense definitely got scored on twice.
Yeah, okay. So the first,
and we said
either time.
Yeah, and we said specifically, hey, are you sure? Because the second and third team, you were like, no, everybody's hungry. Everybody's second, third team.
Man, yeah. We looked a little loose on second team.
Yes,
we looked a little loose.
Line looked great, both first and second team.
Second team, yes. So secondary,
second and third level, secondary was playing like I think that was more like just coverage calls, like they were just giving up a lot of cushion. But
yeah,
I felt down that they got. I was just like, oh, this is a bust.
I just really thought. We talk about the offense taking the foot off the gas a little bit in blowouts, and I never really considered you never really do that on defense. But I guess they did get a little conservative
for sure.
Yeah, so they call out some points.
It was a different quarterback too, so it was like an adjustment on how he was playing. I think if the same quarterback had been in there, it would have been a shutout. Just the new quarterback was a little, in my opinion, he was a little quicker than their starting quarterback.
Yeah, he was.
And he was willing to make some throws that the starting quarterback was not.
Yeah,
because he fit a couple of those into some tight windows. They didn't they weren't shy about going it for it on fourth down though. They were just like,
hey, why not? What have to lose?
What do we got to lose? We down by 40.
Oh my goodness! I mean, this stat line on this is remarkable. This is a remarkable stat line.
Let's call out two things that were right here. Your balance that you wanted to see, Mike G, absolutely happened in this game. I don't think you can get much more balance than what we had. Run pass, even in the play calling, in yardage, it was pretty close. I'm gonna have to pat myself on the back for calling the two 100-yard rushers that I thought we were going to have this game. So, I think we did a pretty good job of accurately depicting what we thought we would see and that actually happening in the game. So, hey, listen. We do know a little something about football.
Yeah. They went out and really set the tone. I think. 27 passes, 32 rushes is balanced, and the only reason that we got 5 more rushes because at the end of the game, when it's a blowout like this, you're just going to run, right? So there were just a couple more. But even when Finley came in, they still tried to move the ball through the air, which I like. I think that's
did not look good.
You got to try it, and I don't really know what to make of that with the receivers that he was actually in with, and so I'm not passing any judgment on Finley just yet. I would have liked to see him do a little better, but
I'm not going to say I'm passing judgment necessarily. What I will say is that regardless, it didn't look like timing issues. I just didn't like the way that it didn't feel like as of yet he had command of the offense the way it should. Like, of course, we know he doesn't have the escapability of Bo Nix, but the times where he had to flee the pocket, you saw that, right?
Yeah.
Like you saw he's just not going to be a guy that can get out of pressure easily. When he's making some of those quick throws, he was like a little high and he was a little low. And it's just like, man, he just doesn't have, and some of that is he only had a fall, right? Like he wasn't here long enough to get a lot of that chemistry that he hoped we hoped he would have. But I think honestly, what that says to me is Demetrius Davis need to be the number 2 quarterback. Cause
man,
I'm just saying.
It seemed like there might have been an opportunity there for us to see something else. But the other thing that I was, you called 200-yard rushers, but how many people thought it would be Jarquez Hunter?
You know what? I had a feeling that it might just because of garbage time.
Right.
But yeah, man,
Now,
Jarquez looked good, man.
I've been making a lot of predictions, so I have to go back to this one that I made about Jarquez Hunter, and I have to parrot it so that if you just started watching the War Rapport, you know I said it. It was, I forgot what was it, a fax or no?
That's a good question.
I can't remember, but we did a segment when I was trying to say that I think Jarquez Hunter is going to leave Auburn as a top 5 or top 3 running back in Auburn history.
I actually think it might have been one with JG on when that happened.
Yeah, I mean, I just really thought, man, this kid is something different. He's different in the weight room. And what did we see? Again, I know it's against, well, I don't know if they kept their first team defense on the field, but he was.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know about their defense, but he did what I expect a kid of his stature to do. He went in just big boy people.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got good quickness. He's got decent speed, but he is going to break tackle after tackle in this league. He's going to be a load. And it just looked like, again, his bottom half, there's so much strength. He gets a low center of gravity on you, you're finished.
Yeah, he's already low to the ground. Same thing with Sean Jackson, man.
Yeah, he's stocky.
Big dude.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, he squats like 600 pounds. And he's got good speed. I'm really excited. And for the next 3 weeks, we have 2 more games where we might actually see a decent dose of him.
Yeah, we should definitely see him again next week.
Yeah, based on how he looked, I would argue, him over Shivers for that second spot might be debatable if you want to spell Tank and still have a game breaker in there. It's not that Shivers doesn't have game breaking ability, but he's not really, to me, he's just not really a between the tackles kind of guy.
He's not an every down back.
Well, he's not an every down back, but I think that people they underestimate Shivers because of his. I actually think he runs well between the tackles, like the downhill rushing style. Actually, he wants the contact, and you saw the touchdown he had. That was between the tackles run. I mean, it was a ridiculous hole, but he wants to be that kind of back running downhill, and people just keep wanting to make him the scat back speed sweep guy because he has track speed, but he likes contact just as much as anybody else. Now, he's not as big as Jarquez Hunter, just in pure size, but he's strong, bro.
Yeah.
Now, again, I don't think he's as strong as Jarquez Hunter. But I think what the reason why I would not put him necessarily there, maybe as a pure runner, Jarquez Hunter is there, but what Sean Shivers brings to you, which we haven't seen from Hunter, so I can't say it about him, is he can catch the ball out of the backfield and he knows the pass protection.
Right.
And so that's the reason why he's going to stay at that number 2 spot right now. But as Hunter gets into maybe game 4 or 5, if he's getting actual game reps and it's not garbage duty where they're just turning and handing the ball off to him and he's actually having to go through figuring out what the pass pro is and all that kind of stuff, yeah, he can start to take some more reps because, again, he is a bigger back.
Yeah, you know what? The other thing I want to say, and I should have led with this, so it classless on my part not to. I definitely want to take this time to congratulate Bo Nix.
For sure. Yeah, can we stop the Mike G doesn't want Bo? People just feel like, oh, Bo's gonna do bad and do well, and Mike's gonna have to eat his.
Yeah,
I wants Bo to do well.
I definitely want to congratulate Bo. What an outstanding first game for him. He went out there. I thought he stayed within the parameters of what they wanted to do offensively. Right, he executed exactly what the game plan was. You could tell. He did get outside himself. He didn't go rogue on anything. He just threw the passes. He took what was there, and there was not a lot of need for him to try to throw balls away tonight. So he just made the easy throws look easy. Yeah, that's all we've been wanting of Bo.
And literally when it's there, take the opportunity.
Right.
Jeff Perry, we appreciate the super chat.
Hey, my brother,
always appreciate
it. Right. So he made the easy look easy.
Yeah.
And when you go against tougher teams, you have to, the hard plays are going to be hard, but easy plays you have to make.
Right.
Because you know that when a good defense gives you an easy throw, you got to make it.
For sure.
And you have to make it well. You have to make it so that your receiver can turn and make a play. These receivers, I know they've been working in practice and stuff, but we returned 15% of our receiving yardage from last season.
Right.
That's it. So these are brand new, and a lot of people were worried about drops. And I was just like, well, we haven't really seen it with these receivers.
And of that 15%,
most of the drops left.
No, but that's because most of the targets left. But still, like of that 15%, Kobe Hudson and Xavion Capers probably were the majority of those, right? Like Shed Jackson might have had a couple of catches in there too. And then the rest of it's going to be like Shanker. And, like this is, we had a pretty much brand new offense out there playing football.
That was a brand new offense, right?
Yeah.
Now, again, can't be underscored. This was a terrible team. We played a bottom 10 team in the FBS. We noted it in almost every single segment we've done over the last month. For the record, Weekend Tailgate, Wednesday War Room, facts and all, Akron was bad. Right. But not to take away from them, but that's what good teams go out and make sure that bad teams look bad.
Because some of our other counterparts around the conference did not do that.
Didn't do that.
They did not.
Yeah, they made bad teams look good. And as we speak right now, a team that beat us last year, who we made their quarterback look like Joe Montana over at Georgia, I don't think that we're going to see that from this Auburn team this year. So when a good team has a bad player, that tells me that we can make that bad player look bad. Even if their team overall is not bad, I'm just tired of everybody. Do you guys remember there was a joke, especially when I was in school, it kind of carried on over. Whenever we played Georgia, some receiver would have a career day, like the best day of his career against us. It was common. It was common that when we played Georgia, you knew some receiver they had was going to go for like 203 TDs.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of looking forward to that kind of ending here. So, how is that going to end? We generated a pass rush. We generated a pass rush. For the first 3 quarters, our DBs were almost falling asleep. They were like outfielders on a baseball team.
Man, I wanted
with
to see
a bunch of grounders
out there, though.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to see a defensive score, but that's how well they played. I just thought, they made it. It was a boring game on defense. They got sacks. Akron, I think,
we lost count of the number of sacks. We was trying to keep track of them.
6. I think they ended with 6 sacks. 6 or 7 sacks. Yeah. And I just thought, wow, what a fundamentally sound defense. So at the 1 deep, we're good. At the 2 deep, I think we're okay. But as long as we don't have mass injuries, right?
Yeah, the thing you have to think about with the 2 deep is it's rare that all of them will be playing at the same time, right?
Correct.
And so, unless we have, like you said, mass injuries, it still shouldn't be a problem. Like I think with the right people out there directing traffic in the back end, the secondary is going to play a little bit better. The defensive line again was solid. I think they rotated 8 to 9 guys out there. Hall was all over the place this game.
All over the place.
Came in and he played well on the edge. TD Moultrie had a great game. TD.
Yeah.
Somebody on here has maligned the previous D-line coach, whatever. Let's not talk. Let's give TD his praise because he played fantastic. You saw the recognition on the play that Ike referenced in the first half. Okay, 6 sacks, 12 tackles.
12 tackles for a loss. Wow.
Our D-line is as good as we thought it could be. Even if this was Akron. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. But that's how you're supposed to look against a bad team. You're supposed to come down with 6 sacks.
That's the thing that used to frustrate me, I think, the most about the last 2 years specifically was even against the bad teams, our defensive line didn't look like they were dominating the game, where it was just like, man, this quarterback is just, he doesn't have anywhere to go at all. What I love that they did is it's an athletic quarterback, and they stay disciplined in their rush lanes around the outside and then collapse the pocket. That's what you're supposed to do against athletic quarterbacks, because last couple of years, we can go run back the tape if you want to. Athletic quarterbacks were eating our lunch. That was the Achilles heel. Is they're not going to do well if the quarterback can move. Because the pass rush was not disciplined on the outside. Looking at you, Big Cat. And a lot of what they did up the middle just wasn't getting the necessary push to make that quarterback feel uncomfortable. A couple of times, man. Like I said, we're gonna look at the tape Monday. So let's just talk about what we got coming up, and I'm gonna kick it to you, B. Will, for a little bit. Tomorrow we will give a more balanced kind of analysis. Tonight we're just being fans. We want to talk to y'all, see what y'all loved about some things. I'm gonna go to the chat section here in a minute. And then Monday, we're going to go even deeper, and we're going to actually look at some film. If you are not an insider, as you can tell right now, if you're watching and you can't comment, it's because you're not a member. We only have the members able to chat right now. So make sure that you are jumping in here with your memberships and all that. But outside of that, Monday is going to be members only, meaning it's not even going to be public at all. So if you want to really look at the tape and talk about what happened, X's and O's stuff, you need to be back here Monday night for our membership. Insiders only. So if you have the supporter level membership, we appreciate you so much. Game days are for you. Mondays are for the insiders. So anyway, B. Will, you got anything that you want to hit them with before we get over here to this chat? Oh, hold on. Before we do that, we got to recognize Patrick.
Hey, Patrick Duke, my man.
Thank you so much for the support, brother, in the super chat.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, I see Patrick over there with JG all the time. Patrick is a super fan. An absolute super fan. So I appreciate Patrick. He is the heart of what Auburn people should be.
Yes, sir. All right, B. Will, talk to us a little bit, man.
So in that first half, Bo was looking fantastic. The offense. Let me take that. Let's take that small. It's not just that Bo was looking fantastic. The offense looked fantastic.
Man, B. Will's bandwidth is so trash, boy. What's going on with that internet, man? Go ahead, you back. Let's go.
The entire offense was looking fantastic. The tight end mix up, getting some different people in there. The personnel groupings, like we didn't just see 3 wide receivers. We saw multiple sets. I saw Shedrick getting down the field, getting open, catching what was thrown to him.
Can I make a comment about Shedrick for just a second, though?
Yeah.
I gave Shedrick such a hard time last season, and I told you all I think it was Wednesday when people were like talking about. I was like, look, it's a new year. We're gonna let him get off to a new start, and he did it. But here's the thing that I noticed, and I'm gonna tell you, and we're gonna see if this holds true. Shedrick is much better when the ball is outside of his frame. Those 2 catches, the catches that he had to reach and go get them. When it's thrown inside his frame, he tends to be a trapper, meaning he gets into his chest and he tries to trap it, as opposed to catching it with his hands. Now, I don't know if this is better coaching at the wide receiver position.
Okay.
But I do know all of those catches, if you go back and watch it, we can go, and I'll pull it up on the film Monday if you want to go look at all of Shed's catches. They were outside the frame. They were all hands catches, and he stuck them.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the issue with Shedrick Jackson was he was trying to trap the ball too much as opposed to catching it with his hands. Anyway,
he did.
Continue.
He did a lot. Yeah, he did a lot of hands catching. Go ahead.
Yeah. So aside from that, guys were wide open. Now let's put the Bo performance in perspective in this sense. Nothing about what he was asked to do was hard. He wasn't asked to thread the needle. He wasn't asked to make a move to your right, throw to your left. It was everything was right there for him, and that is that's what a great play caller and play design is supposed to do for a quarterback.
Talk about
that is exactly how it's supposed to work. So the result is you get a guy with some easy stuff to do, and he looks great doing it. That's and we are complimenting him for looking great doing what he was asked to do, because please, good coaches make your job easy for you. And if you do it, we look great as a team. And that's what happened. I don't think Well, okay, let's before I get to Penn State, let's say this. I was disappointed with how TJ Finley looked. It was a lack of rhythm. It wasn't any one particular throw or read with the wide receiver. You could tell he was 3 months behind. That's what it looked like. It looked like he did not have the same amount of time because I don't know. I can't just put that on the wide receivers. Yeah, the wide receivers look sharper out there with Bo, and the Demetrius Robertson just got there.
Yeah,
and the other guys that TJ was throwing to have been here in the spring. So it can't be just as simple as, hey, it was TJ as well, not knowing exactly where to go and what to do.
My bad, y'all. Big shout out to Tony.
Appreciate you, Tony Baker.
Hey, listen, man, every little bit helps. We definitely appreciate that very much.
Thank you, sir.
We're trying to get off these jobs for sure.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't know, we're only doing the War Rapport part-time. Can y'all imagine if we was doing this full-time? Anyway, I don't know. Mario Nettles, man, we appreciate you so much. You. Yes, we definitely buy into what Hartson
bought in.
Yeah. I mean, listen, TJ threw 5 passes, so I don't know that I can make any definitive statement on 5 passes he threw in garbage time, the backup receivers, right? Like, I think that he won the number 2 job. I think that Bo's performance, to me, justifies why they picked him as the number 2. I just want to be able to trust the coaches again.
Yeah.
Right. And everything I saw today says, because they sent Shedrick Jackson out there and validated why they sent Shedrick. Nobody was talking about him and his wide receiver. And for as much as we have kind of, just speculated on what could or couldn't be, some things we hit the nail on the head. Other things we're curious. I was curious as to why the coaches decided to go that way. But everything we saw today says that for the most part, they've made the right decisions. Now, do I think Shedrick Jackson is going to, catch the winning pass, 60-yard pass against Alabama? No, I'm not sure. I think that there's more talent with other guys behind him. Certainly.
For sure.
But Harsin was clear about why 4- and 5-star players don't play. It's about knowing your assignments and knowing what you're supposed to be doing, and maybe those guys just have some work to do in that regard. But I want to go back to Bo for a second, because a lot is going to be said over the next few days, and I listen to, so everybody's clear, I read a lot of other writers' stuff, and I watch other content creators. So I want to be clear about something that I'm about to say. Can we all agree that this scheme helped Bo a lot tonight?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so you know what? He wasn't the only one that it helped. It helped our offensive line tremendously.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I think everything about what we did offensively helped the offense.
It helped our offensive line tremendously. So if you go to another live or another video and somebody says to you, see, look how Bo can play when he has time, I would just kindly point to them that his time to throw tonight on average is definitely going to come in under 2.5 seconds. For reference, 2.89 seconds last year was his average. Almost a whole half second more he held the ball. That half second is a lifetime in college football.
Yeah.
Because no quarterback in our league that is successful holds the ball much longer than 2.5 seconds. They all release the ball pretty quickly. Gus's system required the quarterback, because it was slow developing play action almost every other play, to hold on to the ball, and then the routes wouldn't develop quick enough. So when pass protection broke down, Bo had no other thing to do but to run out of the pocket and try to extend the play until things opened. Tonight, what we saw was he went, boom, check down. Boom, not there, check down. And he got the ball out of his hands so fast. I was mesmerized by how quickly he let go of the ball tonight. So when we're not
and the times where he didn't have to force it, right? He was just he was calm back there in the pocket, like, okay, let me figure out what's going on.
Now the real test will be when the throw is not there.
Right.
Do we see more throwaways rather than trying to force, right? Because what we saw from Dylan Gabriel the other night was a lot of that trying to force it, and he threw 2 picks, a pick 6, And he should have thrown a third interception, making throws that we got accustomed to watching Bo make.
Yep.
Tell me that didn't look like Bo out there. He was just good. He was good enough, and the opponent was just bad enough for them to get away with it. Which sometimes Gus did, and Bo did.
Yeah.
Except for in the SEC, we're playing top 25 teams literally every other week. So eventually it catches up with you. And you know what that means? 8-4, 7-5, 6-4.
Yeah.
Because you have enough talent and sometimes you get away with it. But most of the time you're not. Not when there's competent coaching on the other side of the field. So what we saw tonight was we saw how the coaching in and of itself, they evaluated Bo, they evaluated this offensive line, and they said, listen, we need him to do that, and we need them to do this. Here's what he's good at, and here's what he's not good at. Here's what they're good at, and here's what they're not good at. Let's come up with a scheme that covers both.
Yep.
Because the idea that the offensive line should just block for 4 seconds on average every play so that receivers can get open is dumb.
Yeah, it
was so dumb.
It doesn't work unless they have the ability to just bully you with the run, right? Like Gus's system is predicated on the run working. If
Correct.
the run doesn't work, you have to be able. This is what I loved about the game plan tonight, right? Is that it was clear early on we could run whenever we wanted to.
Correct.
And they figured that out. And they did exactly what you said that you wanted them to do, Mike, which is like, we're not just going to keep handing the ball off. We know we can do that. Right. All right, great. Let's just go call some pass plays so that we can figure out our pass protection stuff, get our chemistry going with our receivers. So they just changed it up completely and was like, all right, cool. Run. Got that. Check the box. Let's move on to something else. Then they got into the half. He took a timeout on purpose. Did not need to take that timeout. Said, defense, go get a stop. Get us the ball back so we can run our 2-minute offense going into the half. He was puppet stringing the whole first half.
Yeah,
to make sure that they could run all the stuff they wanted to run.
Yeah, we were multiple AF. Oh my goodness, that is a multiple offense.
For sure. Now, you know what? Ricks. Hold on, Marcus Ricks. Let me just shout out this super sticker right here,
my brother.
War Damn ATL. The fact that our receivers were able to be open was a beautiful thing to see. Would not have seen that in the Gus offense. Gus would have gotten some stuff open. It was just a different kind of stuff. Like you saw a seam route, right? Like you don't just normally see that. You saw some out routes that you don't normally see. You saw the throws to the tight end. You saw the stuff going underneath to the running backs and tight ends. Like you saw a lot of things, some quick comeback routes. Like you just saw the route trees were way different. Again, we'll look at this on Monday. If you guys are insiders, come back and holler at us on Monday. We will definitely talk about what we got there. Hold on. Let's go to this chat real quick, though. Let's see what we got. Questions from some people. When was the last time, Scott Parker asked, when was the last time we were behind the chains less than 5 times in a game? I do not know the answer to that question because we definitely were ahead of the chains frequently in this game.
We didn't get behind on first and second down at all, right? So it was pretty nice to see that they were able to stay ahead of the chains. And when you're ahead of the chains, you can call what you want.
For sure. Whole playbook is open to you at that point in time.
When you're behind the chains, you can only call what the defense will give you.
WC Leonard, thank you so much for the super sticker right there. We appreciate that very much.
Appreciate that.
Let's see what else we got going on here.
That's actually a good question. Did y'all see Jerry Miller? I didn't see everything about halfway through the third. I clocked out trying to get some stuff ready.
I don't know who all was playing in the defensive backfield. It's harder to see because I think Mike might have tweeted something about like, man, getting tired of seeing them do like interviews and stuff like that. Like how they cover this stuff sometimes is was that
the the Derek Brown thing in the middle of the game. I get so annoyed by lengthy interviews while the game is on and like the actual game is on. I'm like, come on, man. This is like 2 minutes.
I understand. But like the thing that frustrates me is because I am a person that likes to watch film, I get frustrated when they have like a graphic up on the screen and then like they cut to the game and it's like the play is already started. It's like, man, I didn't get to see what the formation was. I didn't get to see what the personnel groupings were. None of that kind of stuff. So that stuff frustrates me.
Yeah, it drives me nuts.
It's like I actually want to see the game. Like you guys, I get it. You want to get over here and talk about when was the last time Auburn had a 200-yard rusher? And I'm like, man, nobody care about your trivia questions, man.
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah, let's get it. Yeah. Love you, Derek, but you're gone.
Yeah, I know, right?
You left us. So let's talk about the guys that are here. I thought
Ed Darby, not to cut you off, there's nothing soft about this offense. Cut down the bubble screens and jet sweeps. Didn't see the check with me on the sideline. None of that. Yep.
None of that.
Bo and the offense were playing on the field, not on the sideline. Absolutely.
Yeah.
On the field, not on the sideline.
On the sideline. Yeah.
You saw them making checks. You saw them making adjustments at the line. You saw a lot of pre-snap movement that wasn't just eye candy. Like it was literally like a shift. Down in the red zone. The first time we were down there, you saw that play with it, which was we got the first one. It was a penalty for a false start. And then we ran tank, and then we got right back down to the 2. They went into the same formation, which was they shifted which side was the strength of the formation, right? So they had an offset tight end / fullback to one side, and then they shifted and switched and had the other side go. Basically, it's just a way to be able to identify how the defense is going to react to movement up front. But very good job by them doing stuff like that just to keep the wrinkles in there. James Barnett, appreciate the super chat so much. It was good to see others get meaningful reps. That hasn't happened in a while. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great to see.
But that's we had been saying that for the last month, right?
Yeah.
If the backups aren't in by third quarter, something has gone terribly wrong.
For sure. I actually was hoping we would get to the 3 deep, but they kept Bo in for the whole half. But hey,
I understand wanting to get him the requisite amount of reps. They pulled him out just at the right time. Like, I'm so impressed. Sure. How many times have we just sat here and been like, why is he still in the game?
For sure. Carry on 2017.
Oh my God. Please. Yeah, great. Listen, because you can't want Bo to win the Heisman so bad that you're willing to risk his career by leaving him in garbage time. Yeah. Get him out.
Makes absolutely
they did it.
This is going to seem like a supreme overreaction. All right.
Okay.
Because it's Akron. But hear me out. I'm not talking about statistics. I am not talking about like yards, any of that stuff. This Bo Nix can get drafted. I'm not saying how high he'll get drafted, but that Bo Nix is a draftable quarterback. One that can stay in the pocket, look calm, deliver on-time throws, right? Because you're gonna be working with some of the best receivers out there. So even if it's not perfect, they can come down with those catches, right? Like
I don't think that's a stretch. I think that if you're watching this, and again, there's some things that NFL scouts will nitpick, right? The first couple balls that he threw to Cedric Jackson weren't perfect, and they were wide open throws. Shed had to reach a good hands catches by him. But what I'm seeing there, and again, I want everybody to hear me. That's a nitpick.
Yeah.
Right. But in light of how he played the rest of the game, that's something he can clean up.
Yeah.
That's something he can clean up. First game.
What do you feel like? And the reason I'm going to this is he looked like a 5-star, right? So look at what Bryce Young did today for Alabama, right? And look what Bo Nix did today. Now, Bryce Young, of course, is doing this against Miami, which is supposed to have stellar athletes out there.
They were overrated.
Alabama made Miami look.
I said that before too.
Yeah,
I said they were overrated before too. I was so like, I'm just curious to me.
I think both of them looked very composed in their situations tonight. Accurate with the ball. Very like the again, Bo Nix. What was his final stat line?
20 for 22, 275.
20 for 22. One of those was a drop. He only had one really bad throw the whole game.
Yeah.
I will listen. If he throws the ball that way again, now 20 for 22 is just unheard of.
Yeah. He's not going to do that again
all the time.
Right. That's better than 63%.
Yeah, right. But here's my thing, right? So again, we've done for the records on this. Quarterbacks under pressure drop. Their percentage drops about 20 percentage points on average. So if you're not under pressure, if you throw for 75% when not under pressure, you're about 55% when you are under pressure. That's true for almost every quarterback in the league.
Right.
Right. Even Mac Jones, somebody like Mac Jones, who was so accurate last year, had a 22% percentage point drop off when under pressure. The question is, what percentage mark are you falling off of?
Right.
So for Bo tonight, he would be, if the stats held, right, but we know he's not going to be 90% in every game. He would be falling off to 70%, which still would make him one of the best quarterbacks in the league, even while under pressure.
Yeah.
Right.
The problem in the past before is he's been falling off from 60-something down to 40-something when under pressure. And that's what we're going to see. Now, listen, Akron didn't get any pressure tonight.
Oh, yeah, offensive line made Akron seem like they weren't on the field for a lot.
Yeah. Penn State will. Georgia will.
Yeah.
And I just want to see, how is he going to handle that pressure? Is he about 50-something% when under pressure? Because that's actually a really good stat line, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So many quarterbacks are sub 50 when you put pressure on them. So, and that's where he can improve. If he can improve about 10 percentage points from where he was at last year at 40% while under pressure to 50% while under pressure, we'll have a chance in almost every game. I keep trying to tell people we don't need him to win the Heisman to be good, which is why I went out on the stretch and said 10 wins this season. I think our defense will be 10-win good. I don't think anybody's questioning that after this game.
Our defense is there.
Yeah, right.
I want to see what our defense looks like against a quality run game, though. Because I still want to. The pass rush looked great. A thing that I am a firm believer in when it comes to defensive line is that if you can rush the passer, you can rush the passer. Like, it's going to take a very, very quality offensive line to stop a really good pass rush. And so I think that our defense has the ability to rush the passer really well right now. But I want to see what they're going to do when they got some people movers out there in front of the Akron offensive line. It was giving up way too much weight. There's just speaking of getting your weight up, Akron's offensive line needs to get their weight up.
Yeah,
it's like they were overmatched when it came to that. But again, if you can rush the passer, that is something. You have to be good as a tackle. You have to be good as a scheme and all this kind of stuff to be able to stop an excellent pass rush. And they were getting good pass rush again without having to go to some elaborate blitz packages. Correct. Unlike Penn State, right? So go look at the Penn State game. Yeah. It was a lot of their pass rush was generated by blitzes.
Right.
So if Bo can be this level of accurate and because he's going to have wide open people, but he's going to have more pressure in his face. If he can be that level of accurate with pressure, or not this level, but like more accurate than he has been traditionally with pressure in his face, it's going to be really hard to stop this offense.
Yeah. 10 percentage points better, right? You need to rise from 40% while under pressure to about 53% while under pressure. That's really good. The best stat line I've ever seen while under pressure was Joe Burrow. He was like in the high 60s. When you put pressure on him.
He was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he was really, really ridiculously high. Oh, I love this super chat. That's so funny. Check the amount is funny. Yeah. Thank you, Stuart. I got it. I picked up immediately. So I just think this was a good foundation for him. I think the coaches got enough on tape to see what we need to work on and to build some confidence in a lot of guys. A lot of guys got confidence tonight.
Yeah,
they really did. So, I don't know, man. This was
I think that's the thing that disappointed me about what TJ did when I wanted him to come in and instill some confidence, not only in himself and in his ability to run the offense, but in the coaching staff and their ability to say, all right, we can put this guy in the game if we need to. I don't know that he showed them that tonight.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see as Alabama State. It's going to be very interesting to see what the game plan is at the Alabama State game. Like, do they feel like we're going to do something similar, or man, okay, we've seen enough with Bo. Let's see some more of these other people earlier in the game, right? Like, I'm wondering what that's going to look like. Gabrielle Cavalier asked a good question. Did the guys look much bigger and stronger?
Yes,
after the
absolutely.
changes?
Yes, absolutely. They did. 100%.
Wooden man.
They all look like monsters.
Jeez.
Shivers went out there and ran over a dude, flattened him on the way to the end
Poor
zone.
guy. I felt bad for that dude.
Come on, man. These guys definitely got their weight up. And for a whole offseason, we screamed about strength and conditioning and why it was a problem before.
One of us screamed out louder than the others, but yes, we did.
But
and
listen,
look how they look,
though. Like, but it's about style of offense too, right? Like the kind of offense. Look, you're seeing heavy sets out there a lot, like multiple tight ends, you know, or you're gonna have like an actual like 2-back set where like fullback / tight end with the hand in the dirt. Like you're seeing a lot of very pro style concepts that you're going to see out of your pass game. Under center, you're seeing a lot of those things in this offense that you did not see again with Gus Miles. They made it. I love it when I see the offensive linemen and even the running backs after a run play happen, turn to the sideline and be like, give them the motion to say, do it again. Basically, we're mashing these dudes. Let me keep going at them. Like that's a mindset thing of like, I want to go out here and move people. And the offensive line was doing that often. They'd pop off a little 4-yard run and they would turn to the sideline and be like, come on, let's run it again. Like, I feel like I could block that guy better this time.
Right.
I like that, man. You didn't see that with Gus. Like, it was tempo, but it wasn't, in the last 4 years of Gus, you didn't see. It just seemed like the offensive line got less and less able to just go out there and move people.
They weren't good. The offensive line wasn't good. We looked at one of the for the records that Mike and Caesar did was specifically talking about blue chip recruits on the offensive line and how our best 2 years under Gus for blue chip recruits on the offensive line was 2013 and 2017.
Right.
Yes. You can't get the talent in here to move people. It doesn't matter how exotic everything else is. You got to move dudes if you want to make room for the offense to work. He couldn't get the dudes to make the offense work. And now we got the same dudes he couldn't do this with last year. We did not get a big get in the transfer portal. We were screaming about it all off season. All the fans were concerned. And when it got close to fall camp, we said, hey, you know what? Obviously, they're saying we got enough. We got enough. Maybe you don't have exactly what you want. We can make these guys better than they were, and we can make this work for them. And so far,
yeah, I'm gonna wait till Penn State till I give this.
That's the real test. That's the real test.
But I will say, the coaches have given us enough to say I trust the judgments that you've made about who needs to be in the game.
Right.
Schenker looked good, right? So we were talking about, man, we wanted to see some other tight ends get. Schenker looked good out there tonight. Blocking assignments on point, catching the ball on point. He did everything he was supposed to do at the tight end position. Shedrick Jackson looked good out there tonight. Blocking assignments on point, catching the ball on point. Bo Nix looked good out there tonight. Knew what he was supposed to be, on time with the football. You know, again, 20 of 22 can't be understated. You know, I whatever you want to question about the defensive backfield, you know, oh man, such and such, no problems up front, right? So just I'm trusting their evaluation process right now. I feel like we had the best 22 guys starting for our team tonight.
Facts. Yeah, trust the evaluation. Yeah. I think is what it was.
And I don't think that we could do that prior to this year.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna try to stop mentioning that.
Yeah, you're right. I want to get this out of my system because it's the first game of the season. But I just do not understand. If you are a Bo Nix fan and a Gus apologist, you don't make sense. You're a walking oxymoron. You cannot be you can't like Bo. You can't like Bo and want him to do well and then accept Gus's impact on his ability to be able to play quarterback. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
We knew that before tonight. I think his performance tonight just kind of put a cherry on top for it.
Oh, the Georgia game just went final. Clemson goes down
10-3. Yikes!
Georgia.
Surprising. And 7 of those UGA points were a pick six, so that was a 3-3 offense. So both offenses were dreadful.
The question is, was
you're
that
saying
a
we got a
terrible
chance?
Offensive performance,
or two really good
defenses. Time will tell us.
Because people, a little bit, they was overhyping the defenses and how well they were playing in that Penn State Wisconsin game. A lot of that was sloppy offense out there.
It was
right.
I follow a couple of Penn State channels. It's going to be interesting because they do some breakdowns over there. I don't want to throw them no bones just yet. When we get closer to the things, I'll tell you which channels to go look out for your Penn State breakdowns. But there's some Penn State channels I'm looking forward to see what they talk about with their film breakdowns that they're going to do there. My guy James Coleman says it's a little bit of both good defense and bad offense.
Right.
DJ was sacked 8 times. Like Uyangalele was sacked 8 times tonight. Man.
Yeah, the little bit that I saw, UGA's defense just had Clemson completely in a box. They were boxed up on the counter, ready to go to get picked up. I have no idea if he looked that bad all game. I know missing ETN was a big part of that, but for the record, none of us bought that JT Daniels was it at Georgia. Not one of us.
Not one of us.
The Heisman favorite rating was bull. All these high expectations were bull. George Pickens being out. What do you got the best wide receiver on your team out? You got a tight end that's out. What do you know? No, man, no. You still playing for Kirby Smart. We don't believe you. You need more people.
And Darby, good point here. Communication along the offensive line pre-snap. That's just one of those things, again, where when you trust players to play football, I think that they play football better. But when you start taking that stuff out of their hands and make them reliant on you to think for them,
correct.
It just makes it harder for them to be able to adjust and play well, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was our whole offense before for 8 years though.
Yeah.
Right. And then what you needed a world beater quarterback to overcome all that.
You mean Tyler Queen didn't beat the world and lead us to some national championships?
I'm telling you, I'm the biggest mistake we made was after 2017. Now
that's the biggest mistake.
Arguably, we could have, whatever series of events happened after landed us with Harsin.
Right. I'm glad we're here.
Right. Yeah. And I'm glad. I got to say to Alan Green, hey man, thank you for just giving us some hope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man,
it definitely feels very hopeful right now. I think the energy around the team is exactly what
a lot of hope, right? Now we got to pump the brakes.
I'm about to say, hopefully game 3 it doesn't dash up against the stones of Happy Valley. But
but we don't need to win a championship, right? To feel like the program's moving forward. We don't even have to beat Penn State, honestly.
I just don't want to go out there looking bad.
I don't want to look bad. I just want to look like, because maybe Penn State figures it out after this game and they look better by the time they get to us.
So let me ask you,
as well as Wisconsin played, we should win that game.
We should win that game, yeah.
Because Wisconsin, listen, man, that first fumble that they had inside the red zone was just ridiculous. The second fumble that they it's just like they just gave the game away, and I'm just like, man, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was not impressed by Penn State. I try not to judge people too harshly off of one game, but there were 3 guys on that Penn State team that I really like. I think his name was Mustafa, number 97, the defensive lineman. He feels like a gamer to me. He feels like somebody who's going to be disruptive along the defensive line. A pretty good run stopper. He didn't really have an interior pass rush to speak of, but run stopping, he did a pretty good job. That safety that was out there that they kept saying was going in and out of game, number 1, I can't remember what his name was. He got the interception early, not the very last one, but the next to the last one in the end zone. He's a gamer, and then one of their linebackers, I think his number is 13, looked really good for him out there. But outside of that, it was scheme.
Right.
But it wasn't a whole lot of stuff that made me say, man, Penn State, bro, like their defense looked good, but it looked beatable because Wisconsin was running the ball all up and down the field on them. Man. Like, and so I feel like we can do that. We can go out there and run the ball. And I trust our coach to put us in a position that says, cool, they're susceptible to the run. Bobo, dial it up. And let Tank, Shivers, Hunter go eat.
Man, it's so different. I cannot express this. So we were all on campus around the same time between 2000, well, really 99 and 2008 was my last actual semester on campus as a student. And we got used to feeling like the Tuberville era was really when we immersed ourselves in Auburn football. So we got used to that. I mean, offense was going to come and go, but defense was the constant. Like, that's how it felt. It felt like, yeah, maybe we'll put up some points, maybe we won't, but we're going to be in this game. And for a little while, because 2013 is when Gus got here, but really 2009 is when Gus got there as a OC, it felt different. Like it wasn't, hey, we're going to be constant on this side, but the other side may or may not show up. It was let's just hope things go right. Like we don't really know what we're going to see. That's what it started being. We don't know what we're going to see. Let's just hope the right things happen for us. And then you get a Cam year, which is outstanding. Then you get a 2013, which is outstanding. But we couldn't count on anything. Like, we couldn't be sure of what we were going to see week in and week out. And I talk about how football it ends up being kind of like a relationship. Like, here's how you feel about your coach and your team. And depending on the year, those feelings come back up. The same things start happening over and over and over again. You think, here we go with this when we look a certain way against a certain team, or Georgia's had our number, 8 out of the last 10 years. But I'm looking forward to feeling differently about my football team, to being able to expect effort and consistency with whatever we get. Like, some years we're not going to have it. Some years a couple of positions are going to need an upgrade or more experience, and we're going to look not great in some facets. I mean, I think almost every team has flaws, but what I'm looking forward to is finally knowing I know who we are. Mm-hmm. I know what to expect from my team, and I can hopefully, for once, for the first time in 10 years, back to 2011, I can say absolutely we are not going to get embarrassed tonight. We can lose games. We are not going to get embarrassed. That hasn't happened in so long. And I am looking forward to that being our truth as Auburn fans again.
Yeah. I mean, listen, identity, I think, is the biggest thing that I think we've lacked the last couple of years. Kerryon Johnson, I don't want our identity to be a player, right? Unfortunately, Cam Newton was the identity of that Auburn offense, right? Or some stellar running back, Trey Mason, or a combination of Trey Mason and stellar quarterback play, right? Was the identity of that offense. But it felt like gimmicks and trickery leaning on Mason to run the ball, right? Then Kerryon Johnson was pretty much the identity. And what I mean by that is, you take one domino out, things don't roll smoothly. I don't feel like we're in the position where, God forbid, Tank goes down. I feel like we got a running back who can step in and play ball if he goes out. The only one I'm still questioning, the position I'm still questioning, is quarterback right now. I still don't know if Bo Nix is not there. Do we have a quality guy that can step in and play at quarterback? But 90% of teams, if your starting quarterback isn't there, you're not going to be good anymore. That's not unheard of, to not have a great backup quarterback who's just as good as your starter. What it is unheard of, though, is that, a running back goes out and now your entire offense is shut down. It might not be as good because that running back is super amazing, but I mean, it's so disheartening to feel like we don't have offensive identity. I feel like we're going to start to see a shaping of the identity of this offense in the next couple of weeks.
Right. Yeah. I hope that it's this kind of balance, though. I really do.
If we can have this kind of balance going forward, how do you beat a team that's this good defensively and that balanced offensively?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
How do you attack it?
Because there will be games where we have to lean on Tank a little bit more than we leaned on him tonight.
Yeah.
But the key is that once the defense starts to creep, if your quarterback can make them pay,
for sure,
they cannot just load the box to stop Tank, and everybody should eat. Balance, your balance will keep everybody else off balance.
For sure.
And that's
exactly what happened tonight.
Yeah, if you watch that tape, you cannot watch that tape as a coach game planning for Auburn and tell me you know how to attack us the next week.
Yeah, absolutely not.
You can't watch that and say, oh, this is what we're going to do to stop them.
I'm convinced that if you watch the tape from Alabama State, you'll still be confused.
Correct.
Because there's that many ways that they intend to attack. Thank you so much right there for the super chat right there.
Appreciate
the
that.
Rock 1984. Appreciate that so much.
Good looking out.
Ed Darby brings up a good point. When games came down to coaching, we would not compete because we didn't scheme and game plan on offense. We didn't put players in the right positions. Cam and Nick just covered it up. That is factual statements. Yep. Superstar athletes do make subpar coaches look better.
Right.
You remove the superstar athlete. If the system is good, hear me out here. If the system is good, you can put okay guys in there and the system still just works. Now, You're not going to be world beaters with that system, but it's just going to work.
Compete.
Right. But like you can look at this. Oh, this is why Dan Mullen is a good coach, right? Because it doesn't really matter who the players are. He just makes them look good when you put him on the field.
Yeah. Okay.
If you get him an amazing player, it's hard to beat him at all on offense.
Yeah.
He just
So hear me out. The years where our offense worked before, it was primarily because we had because everybody acts like this offensive line just got bad overnight. And I would challenge you that they were never that great. We maybe had talent, but they were never that great. The scheme just made them look worse when you didn't have an offensive, then you have a quarterback that could cover their sins.
Yeah.
Right.
My bad.
Right.
I'm just laughing at Blake, man.
Yeah. Like,
is there anybody who we can bring up that somebody's not gonna hate? We can't talk about Jimothy because B will hates him. We can't talk about Dan Mullen now. Blake hates him. Chad Morris is off the list of ever being mentioned on this show.
Lawrence,
what person can we talk about? We definitely can't talk about the dude in Tuscaloosa just because he coaches there. Can I talk about anybody and give him a compliment at all? Anyway,
I just think this offensive line got a lot of help from the coaching staff tonight. I think that they evaluated what we had, looked at it and said, this is the type of play calling that we're going to need while these guys continue to get it together. They put the pressure on them in the scrimmages. They didn't take it from all reports. They had some disastrous scrimmages where they just sent blitz after blitz after blitz. And there were busts and both threw picks and they just threw the kitchen sink at them. And I agree with that 100% because that's what defensive coordinators in our league are going to do.
Yeah.
They're going to throw the kitchen sink at you.
Yep.
Right? We should be throwing 3 kitchen sinks at our offense in practice.
Right. For sure. And exactly. If you know this is how they're scout yourself. How are they going to attack us? All right, great. We know to me, it's inconceivable that I can sit on my couch downstairs watching a football game and understand Bo's going to roll out to the right if you put pressure on him in this way. And they didn't figure out a way to scheme around that for 2 years. For 2 years, you watched this man do the exact same thing against pressure and didn't say to yourself, hey, this is a tendency of his. If we do something and we know the defense is going to try to play into that tendency, we should counter with this. I don't understand that. Okay, so here the list of people who we shouldn't mention is growing. Kirby Smart should not be mentioned on this show. We apparently
I like mentioning Kirby Smart for just that reason. So we can talk about how overrated he is.
Oh my goodness.
We can talk about the Vanderbilt coach apparently because who's worried about Vanderbilt? Apparently we can talk about Stoops.
I don't mind Stoops.
Rhett Lashley, we can talk about him apparently.
Oh man, Rhett had a rough day today.
He had a very rough day today. Listen, if you are watching right now, you are watching the post-game reaction of the War Rapport. We are here talking about Auburn football's victory over Akron. If you're wondering why you can't comment, it's because you are not a member. You need to get that membership popping. Mike G, tell them why they need to have a membership to the War Rapport.
Listen, as we grow, so does our community, and to keep our environment troll free. If you notice, no trolls in here. It is one big happy post-game tailgate. That's because we've limited it to members only. Please become a member of our community. This is the best way to support our content and allow us to be able to bring you guys even more content. We're working towards bringing you guys content 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Nobody else is out here working that hard for you. Trust me. So the $5.99 a month that you guys donate towards supporting that, a lot of you have gone to our GoFundMe as well. I certainly appreciate that. So, I mean, we have a few people who are not members, but have donated 2 years worth of memberships to our GoFundMe.
Yeah.
It does not go understated, because when you do that, you're not only helping us, but you're saving a puppy, because that's what we do.
Sure.
Speaking of which, we help raise money for the Lee County Humane Society. This is important work that we've chosen to do. We may work out something where we as an organization make extra donations when Auburn reaches certain milestones. We want to be able to give. You guys giving helps us do that as well, too. So we appreciate everybody. You can find the link to this in the About section of our YouTube channel. So, yeah, thanks, everybody, for joining us. And I hate Devil Sweeney. Yeah, I mean,
this is one's on your list right here, Mike.
Yes, I listened to him speak one time at a conference where we were doing the audio visual in New Jersey. He was speaking to a Notre Dame Boosters Club.
Wait. What? A behind the back pass?
Was it complete though?
That's
Mike,
a good question.
You and I are gonna have a talk about LSU and UCLA tomorrow. We got a new segment that we talked about called "What Had Happened." Well, we're experimenting. We're going to talk about that.
They just scored a touchdown. Somebody said they just scored a touchdown last.
Brian Kelly, go with your Brian Kelly story.
Anyway, I thought I was listening to him talk to the Notre Dame boosters in New Jersey. I thought I considered strongly pulling the plug on his microphone. He was just full of it, man. And because as a former film guy, I don't like that a film guy died under his watch either.
Right.
They sent a guy up in a lift during practice in 30-mile-per-hour winds, and the lift blew over, and the kid died.
Yeah.
And, some things are just more important than football. I don't know. There's been something about him that I just have not liked for a really, really long time. So, Notre Dame, hey, Steve King, my man.
Yeah, jumping in here.
Appreciate this.
Yeah. Steve was like, man, I need to chat. I need to be in this chat, man, so I can talk to y'all a little bit. We appreciate that very much.
Yeah, I don't like Notre Dame. I don't like anything about them. I wish they would go away. I wish they would join a conference. We saw what happened when they joined a conference.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, during the regular season they won, but then.
Yeah, but when it came time to actually win something at the end, they couldn't. And the only reason they won was because Trevor Lawrence was out.
Facts.
So I think this season my hate for some teams will grow as we begin to gain momentum. SEC play starts in October for us. We don't play a single SEC game until October this year.
And then it's all SEC games.
Oh my goodness! And then we kick it off at Baton Rouge, and then come home for Georgia right after that. We round out with Ole Miss and Arkansas. I mean, it's just a brutal October slate. So the Ole Miss played it. They play on Monday, right?
Monday.
Okay, right. Because Lane Kiffin's going to miss that game. He got COVID test, speedy recovery to him.
Yeah.
But I just think this is a gauntlet. They rated our schedule the second hardest in the country. Now that Penn State has taken out Wisconsin and will jump in the rankings. We may have jumped up to the first hardest schedule because it was between us and Arkansas.
Because Texas, Arkansas plays Texas as
Yeah, Texas didn't look great tonight. I think they ended up winning, but whatever.
They won by 20. Well, see, the thing is, Louisiana Lafayette was supposed to be a good Group of 5 team. I don't know if they actually are or not. It's the first game of the season.
It's like a 23 ranking they had, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They were ranked 23rd.
They were ranked higher than us, which is we'll see how that works out.
Lane said that Matt Corral is going to be out too. Is this for real?
No way.
I didn't see that. I thought he said that nobody. The statement he put out on Twitter, he said nobody else got out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody's vaccinated. So,
but I mean, so it doesn't mean that he's out for a different reason. He didn't say COVID, right? So,
right.
I don't know. That's going to be interesting.
We'll see.
Do you guys think that even though Akron is a subpar team, that we have a chance to jump into the top 25 considering the performance of some of these top 25 teams?
100%. We should sneak
top
in.
25, sure.
We should sneak in around 22, 23.
Yeah, we should be top. We should be top. Yeah, 25. but somewhere between 20 and 25. I agree.
Yeah, if not, then we should be right teetering on the edge of that. But I don't see how you look at this. And I mean, our first team defense pitched a shutout. To be clear, our first team defense pitched an absolute, complete domination, and that's really hard to do on any team. Oklahoma gave up like 35 points to Tulane today.
Yeah,
but
listen, again, this is why tonight doesn't feel like an overreaction, because I just sat here all day and watched people get embarrassed by teams that they should have run off the field. Now, they didn't lose, but there's no reason you should give up that many points and yards to Tulane.
No,
it's just not for a team that's ranked in the top 5.
No, or number 2 in the country.
Can we be for real here?
Yeah, number 2 in the country.
This is the team that y'all keep telling me is going to come to the SEC and eat our lunch.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. So,
to be fair about some of this, let's be clear about this. Nobody should be ranked anything before at least a full month into the season. At two conference games.
You know that's fair.
Nobody should be ranked
because some teams like Bama and Clemson are they're living on reputation at the beginning of the season. That's what their ranking is about. Right. Now, some of them have earned it. Like if you're Bama, you've earned it because you've consistently shown that it's next man up. They didn't do anything to hurt their preseason number 1 ranking. Today. They plugged in another quarterback and he looked like a world beater too.
Yeah. Tony Breaker says all of this is much ado about nothing. Matt is not
okay.
All
right. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony.
Listen, I don't know. Somebody's fact checking somewhere because that's the first I had heard about it. So anyway. Solomon agrees that rankings shouldn't start until October.
So October, yeah. I mean, give us a month to just kind of figure out who's who and who's what. But that'll
Washington
hurt their ratings
too.
Yeah, Montana beat Washington. Yeah, I'm telling you, there were a lot of games today that had surprising scores. Even if there wasn't an upset, a lot of people didn't look that great in week 1. That's why I'm telling you this is like, or maybe Ike just said it. This is why this is not an overreaction. A lot of teams came out against lesser opponents and look unprepared.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Oh,
if Gus had still been here, we would have been one of them.
I don't know why him saying polls before the season, just someone's opinion. I forgot to tell y'all that going forward, the War Rapport is going to be announcing a player of the game, and it's going to be picked by you all. So there's going to be a poll that's going to be going up in our community, and then we're going to post another one probably to Twitter. So we're going to do 2 polls, and whoever gets the most votes for the player of the game, that's who we're going to announce. When do you guys want to do the announcement for the player game? We're going to do that tomorrow on the show tomorrow.
Yeah. You know what? We'll put the poll up tonight. And announce the player of the game tomorrow. Yeah, right. I think that's fair.
You guys make sure you hit our community tonight, right after the game. Right after the live ends. That's going to be up in the community. Go vote on the poll, or you can hit us up on Twitter because we realize everybody doesn't have Twitter. So if you're watching this, you definitely have YouTube. Go to the YouTube community, vote for the player of the game. And if you're on Twitter, you can vote over there. We'll tabulate those, and we'll give away a War Rapport player of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and break all the suspense. If you don't vote for Bo Nix,
I don't know if Bo doesn't.
I don't know if Bo doesn't win it, but we'll do this because we have to.
Right? Over 100 yards.
If you don't vote for Bo, it's got to be Bo. It's got to be Bo, man. Come on.
But again, we're gonna do this every game. So yes, I get it that Bo should win it, but still, we're gonna set the precedent for this first win to make sure.
Absolutely.
Somebody said Shedrick the player of the game. Listen, we'll put
him. We'll put him there.
Yeah,
we'll put him on there. I think he earned a spot on the poll.
For sure, he did
today, right? He earned a spot.
I have to say this: UCLA is running all over LSU, and I know that our starting backs are talented.
Hey, Mike,
I can't see I can't see it.
You can't see.
I can't see. I don't know what you're talking about.
As a matter of fact, I want to quote you because y'all know we got the podcast. We put the Wednesday Night War Room.
It's 20-24.
Mike, I want you to hear me.
He's not saying that they're beating them. He's saying that they're running all over them, meaning the running back really well.
Processed the podcast from the Wednesday Night War Room, and what you said, and I quote, was, "You could not be more wrong."
Yeah,
LSU by double digits. You said LSU by double digits.
I did not say LSU by double digits. I did not say LSU by double digits.
I don't remember.
We will have this video ready for you all to see tomorrow.
Yeah, I did not say LSU by double digits.
Jonathan
That's
Harris,
fine.
tough week for a lot of teams. For us, open up with the firepower. We did say a lot about our predictions. This team isn't the team of old. Factual Jonathan Harris, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Listen, Vandy just lost to Eastern. What? Vandy.
We shouldn't even pick it. We all picked. Yeah, we did. We all did. Yeah.
Vandy out here ruining dreams.
Man, what are we doing, Vandy?
Wow.
Is Vandy gonna win a game this year?
I don't know. I don't know.
Probably not.
Are y'all gonna pick Vandy at all? Like, how are they gonna win?
I don't know. This is going to be a very interesting and compelling season. There are so many good storylines in the SEC this year. And this might be the end of the SEC as we know it. Whether this year or next year.
Be coming on next year.
Yeah. This could be the end of the SEC as we know it. So these are memories we need to cherish.
Did you guys see that there were 3 or 4 teams that put in their applications to join the
Big 12,
Texas and Oklahoma list Big 12?
Really?
Yes.
No,
Cincinnati. Yep.
UCF did. Oh, Gus.
BYU.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And who was the other one?
I want to say it was Houston, but I'm not sure.
Houston. That's right. So Gus, he backdoored his way back into the Power 5. All right.
They got to accept the application, so we'll see. Listen,
they're trying to stay alive. They're gonna accept it.
I mean, they need it. They need something because they lost their cash cows, both of them. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, somebody just said, it was Cincy, UCF, William Kelly. Appreciate that. Cincy, UCF, Houston, and BYU. Man, gonna be very interesting in the next couple of years. If that happens, then what's the conference now that has UCF and Cincinnati in it?
The AAC.
The American.
AAC.
The
American just took their best 2 teams.
They're gonna have to pull from the Sun Belt or Conference USA to try to stay alive.
Yeah, this is a domino effect that I anticipated happening with those 2 teams leaving. Right, you already see the scheduling alliance that they're trying to pull off with these other places. That they basically said, thanks to everybody, everybody's welcome except for you, Big 12. We don't need you in that scheduling alliance. And now the Big 12 is like, all right, cool. So we can go get some people, and they're hurting some of those group of 5 conferences by picking off some of their best teams. Houston, right. BYU, Cincinnati, and UCF potentially joining. That's going to be crazy. Let me see. UCLA is now up 31-20 against LSU. Oh man, Ed Orgeron, you can't come out here and lay a duck the first game back-to-back seasons after.
Yeah, there's 12 minutes left. 12 minutes
it's
left in the
looking like
fourth
Joe
quarter.
Brady was the only reason y'all was any good, man. Come on, dog.
Mike.
Hey, listen, they ain't lost yet. They ain't lost yet. All right. I'm gonna hold on until the end. I gotta stop challenging B on LSU. We need to crown
that's
you
a fact.
Just on LSU alone. On everything else, you don't
stick to your Texas A&M predictions. You were good with that.
For real.
But
that championship warped your mind, man. It wasn't as a continuous stream of excellence that was starting. It was kind of a lot of good things that came together.
Yeah, I mean, it's not their talent though. It's definitely their coaching.
That's everybody though, isn't it?
No,
on our level. With us, isn't that our story here?
Yeah, I mean that's our story for certain.
But
LSU
it definitely is at a lot of schools, especially if you're in a Power 5 school. The difference in most Power 5 schools is the guy that's pulling the trigger up top.
Right, but I mean LSU, you're talking about like top 6 recruiting, top 6, top 5 recruiting classes.
Yeah,
I mean, so an unprecedented amount of talent that he's underachieving with. So, I mean, Max Johnson ended up with this job, right? Because Finley left and then Brennan got hurt again.
Right.
Yeah. So he was.
Is the quarterback the problem right now? I don't think
the
that's
defense can't stop the run. It was Dave Aranda was the reason they won that championship, not because they were world beaters on defense. He had a kind of like everything gelled. I'm going to make you be the best you can be. Gene Chizik kind of had that. Like, okay, we aren't great, but you saw what when North Carolina had Gene Chizik as defensive coordinator, they went to the conference championship. Yeah, they lost to Clemson, but certain guys you might not be great, but I'm going to make you the best you can possibly be. Dave Aranda was that. He's gone. And he was one of the best defensive coordinators. It was a really big deal because they went and stole him from Wisconsin, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really big get. And they don't have that dude no more. So now they got okay talent. They got a little bit of a culture problem because Eric Gilbert, with the guy who went to Georgia, tight end, but he had behavioral issues. The left tackle that went to Kentucky had behavioral issues. They had one guy, I think he was a running back, that went to Oklahoma. And then Lincoln Riley openly in their press conference said, yeah, it didn't work out. We regret going to get him. He said, we regret him going to recruit him. What that says to me is behavioral issues. If you've got 3 guys who couldn't cut the mustard behaviorally other places, that's a culture issue that's going on at LSU. They are missing. We're talking 4 and 5 star talent.
Like they've had cultural issues there for a while.
Especially now, all the stuff about Geis has come out and Les Miles has come out. The inmates are running the prison. Isn't that the phrase for it? Mm-hmm. The players are kind of getting their way as the trade-off for, hey, but we're really good players and we're going to come here and play ball for you. And you can let that go for a little while, but it's going to get out of hand. And maybe Orgeron is trying to clean house by saying, hey, listen, man, you can transfer now. Go ahead and go wherever you want, but you got to get off the team. Right. And he's trying to clean it up. But the problem is some of your best players were these types of dudes. Yeah. So you're lacking. A lot of holes to fill, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate that super chat. The Rock 1984 says, wasn't it nice not to have to get 20 points from 5 field goals?
Yeah, then we missed an extra point, man. Come on, dude. First extra point of
first one of the game, bro, of the season. I was just like, what are we doing here?
What's going on?
Kickers out here making 51-yarders. I'm like, listen, bro, we're not finna go through this with y'all.
Yeah, we
okay.
by 10,
so
by 10,
thank you for that.
By 10. Okay, all right, this could still happen.
Miles Brennan would not have helped that at all. So, all right, we'll see what's going on with that. I saw another super chat. Not super chat. Excuse me. I saw another chat in here. Iowa State barely beat. Man, what? Northern Illinois? Listen, man, let us in the top 25, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling. I think I don't want to see any. I don't want to see them do that thing they do where they completely overhype us and jump us up top 15 just because we have a matchup coming with
3 or something, right?
Well, no, I'm saying just because we have a matchup coming with Penn State.
Yeah.
And it's in prime time.
Blow out Alabama State and somebody else, and then they're gonna try to
they can put us up there.
Try to make it a top 15 matchup or some BS like that. People are asking if you're eating Bojangles out there.
Listen, I'm going to listen. He keeps playing like this. I'm going to buy a Bo jersey and eat Bojangles. I'll eat Fojangles, Mojangles, anything he endorses. Right? I think I'll wear that underwear or whatever he's endorsing. He's gonna play like this. I am on the Bo train all the way,
yes, sir. All right, man. We're gonna wrap this up, man. Well, actually, do y'all want to stay on? Because I don't mind. I'm gonna take some questions from the people here, so we can go a little bit longer. My camera's about to die. I'll be right back, y'all. Okay. So.
All right.
Yeah. So what an interesting game, right? This is a great start to the Brian Harsin era. I noticed Brian Harsin's kind of demeanor on the sidelines.
He's chill.
He's like, business.
He's chill.
Right. Business. Yeah. You know,
not a whole lot of booms. You know what I'm saying? Not a whole lot of fist pumpings, but it's like, hey, let me see you do what I told you to do.
Yeah.
Like a stern dad. You know what I'm saying?
It was definitely a different kind of feel, wasn't it, to an Auburn game? Kind of like, hey, yeah, that's nice, but this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
This is what I execute what I told you to execute.
Yeah. He understands this is Akron.
Right. Right.
No, he definitely understands this is Akron. So I was impressed with that. I thought that he I think that his team and leadership can be so underrated sometimes.
For sure.
Where just his demeanor and how he carries himself on the sideline, that the team takes on that mantra and mentality, and then it just comes right. Coming back to the chat here again. What do we think about the O-line, Jonathan? Let me tell you what I think about the O-line is they did what was asked of them tonight. It was a good start for them. I don't think we didn't put them in any bad situations tonight. They were really good at run blocking. They blew Akron off the ball. But to be clear, this wasn't a great Akron defense. So they did what they were supposed to do. They beat an inferior team. And in pass protection, I thought that they did a good job, but we're not going to really – Akron couldn't generate any pressure at all tonight.
Right.
So we don't know. We still question mark on pass protection. This is something we'll have to revisit after Penn State. Absolutely. But I like that they did not give up pressure to Akron. I really like that. So
they're saying no booger picking was nice because Gus always tugging at his nose.
Yeah, man. You guys notice the strangest stuff. This Knighton, and he got a touchdown thrown on him, didn't he?
I don't know who was out there for that.
Yeah, I think Knighton was the one they threw the touchdown on. But he seemed like he was having some trouble out there tonight. So we'll see. I mean, he was in the game while they were moving the ball.
Right.
Knighton was.
But different D-line, different, so the first team defense, I think we learned is legit. And that is they did a good job picking our first team defense. Right. We're going to have to sort out what the second team is. And that's something we'll have to see more of when Ike does his breakdown of film on Monday night. And that's for insiders only. So everybody in here can see it. I forgot that's where we're at.
Todd said, yes, it was Knighton that got scored on. I was pretty sure it was him that got scored on. So that was one of those position battles where, he came in from, an FCS school, won the job. We were impressed that he won it. So I'll be interested to see when they look at the film if he holds on to that. Again, Derek Freeman, Jarquez Hunter looked like an absolute and utter monster. Can't stress this enough. This kid is a complete beast. I've called it. He's going to go down as an Auburn great. The future looks good if Shivers goes down, or I expect to see a heavy dose of Jarquez Hunter in the next 3 games based on his performance tonight. I don't care if it was in garbage time. He did what he was supposed to do, and he showed why they recruited him. He was a 3-star recruit.
Because I wanted to ask y'all this: what do we think of going forward? We used to be running back you. We might actually be running back you again here. So we know we got Tank for at least this year and next year. By NCAA law, he's got to be here through 2022.
Yeah, he's stuck with us.
Hunter's here. All right. We thought a lot of him. We heard good things about him. He's here and he's flashing the talent that we thought he had. We got Sean Jackson. What classification is Sean Jackson?
He's a freshman, I thought.
Is he a freshman?
Yeah.
Okay. Ike, you're muted on yours. Also, we've got Damari Alston already committed for 2022.
He was at the game tonight.
Yeah, he was at the game, and he's been recruiting for us really hard since he got picked up. How in the heck do we convince another running back to come here in the next 2 years?
Well, again, that's you just keep developing. I mean, at the end of the day, you convince a running back because once you start putting them out to the NFL, these guys aren't going to last. Just how any other school that develops does it. Just keep recruiting them, man. It'll take care of itself, I think. Wade Jackson wants to know thoughts on Kaufman's returns. I like this question. Thank you, Wade, for this question. I didn't think he didn't look super explosive back there to me tonight. Right? Like, I thought he was okay. There was one where I thought he was going to actually take it to the house at some point. I think it was on the kickoff. I saw him kind of get up the sideline a little bit, but he didn't look super fast. I don't know. I'm sure they're going to reevaluate that at some point during the season. What were your thoughts on Kaufman?
I didn't see a lot of his returns. There was one I saw like you did where I was like, okay, here we got a lane here. Well, I wouldn't have ran that. I felt like he ran to the wrong spot of the coverage, but I know when you're returning kickoffs, you're supposed to run to where the blocks are being set up at, even if it's closing up. You're supposed to run that way because that's where you got it blocked up at. So I don't know. I didn't think he was incredibly decisive.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, but I'm willing to give him some slack because I just don't want to see Tank back there.
I was about to say, I'm just glad it wasn't Tank.
Yeah.
It's gonna be anybody.
No
cool.
Tank. Yeah, I'm glad they abandoned that one. Jackson is a walk-on. I keep forgetting this kid walked on, and he looked good in there. Walk-ons winning jobs means something about evaluation. And
so what's happening with Jordan Ingram then?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Are you telling me we are Tank, Shivers, Hunter, Jackson, 5 running backs deep? We had 2 running backs on the roster 6 months ago, and now we're 5 running backs deep. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah. Just
I like this.
Reminder of how wrong I was here.
This is the one that matters though.
175 yards rushing. Yikes.
If they can't stop the run, they're gonna be in a world of trouble against us.
Yeah, man. 215 yards passing. Interesting. Yeah, I might well just go ahead and eat that humble pie right now. I think I got some in the fridge.
We're gonna put you on the summer jam screen tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah. So red zone. Now we've covered this extensively over the last few months, right? About red zone offense improving under Bobo. Now we scored from way out a bunch of times, but they did get in the red zone a couple times, and I liked the red zone offense. Now, if we're going to run the ball like this, it's going to be an easy decision. In the red zone for them. But we still need a little bit more to evaluate this. Remember, they were on we had like a third and, or maybe it was a first and goal from like the 3 or something. We got a penalty and we had to back it up a few yards. And I thought, okay, this is good. First and goal from like the 8 or 9, just inside the 10. Let's see what the play calling looks like. Now they handed it off. We got all the yards right back. But when we have to throw that ball in the red zone into tight windows, we didn't get to see that tonight, really. I'm going to be interested to see. I mean, that's probably the most dangerous place to throw it on the field. Right. So you have to be accurate and you got to be on time with the ball. We didn't get to see a lot of that tonight, so we'll see. I think that was a lot of the fool's gold with Malzahn's offense was we scored from 30, 40 out a lot.
Yeah.
And then when we got in the red zone
was awful.
Yeah, it was so bad.
It was abysmal. I mean, again, I go back to Miami earlier today, shotgun snap at the 1 yard line, trying to do a quarterback sneak. Like that's the kind of stuff like I don't know that I was ever more frustrated as an Auburn fan than the Texas A&M game where we had the 2 botch snaps, right? Like we had the opportunity to beat them, 2 botch snaps, one of them being a goal line situation. Like, why are you just man, do something? Like, there's just not a reason to go shotgun at the 1. Like, what are we doing here?
Right. Yeah. Right. The Clemens kid, right? Was he at the game tonight?
Yeah, he was there.
He was at the game tonight, right? So again, what a great game. What a great game to have when you've got recruits coming to watch. This is going to be in
BP too. He was talking to BP. I saw somebody post a picture there. That was cool.
Right. So I just want to see where we go with this. It looks like Texas A&M is actually doing cover. I think they're going to cover.
They did. They covered. That's all.
They covered. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a miss. Kent State had the ball on Texas A&M's 5 with 20 seconds left. Could not get it in, and A&M maintained possession and the cover.
Yeah. Bulldozing the red zone, Tony Baker says, brought back old memories. Yeah, let me tell you, I'm looking forward to to this day. You know what? Tank running the ball reminded me, all our running backs really, of how when you handed the ball to Trey Mason, it was just like an automatic 3.5 to 4 yards every single time.
Great, man.
Yeah, that's one of the things when we talk about how well the offensive line played is when you see how many yards before contact a running back gets, right? Again, we'll look at this on Monday and we'll look at film on it. But if you notice the first couple runs that Tank had that weren't like big plays, like just like quick, he ran for 4 yards. He was 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage before somebody touched him. Right, that's your offensive line dominating at the point of attack. Is that before somebody lays a hand on your running back, he's already and he just falls forward for another 2. He gets 4 yards just because I run hard and my offensive line gave me 2.
Right.
That's the kind of football that you want to play consistently, where it's like, all right, we're just going to bully you for a couple of yards and Tank go get the rest.
Yeah.
And if you give Tank enough space, that's a man. This man looked like he was playing against little kids. The one where he ran it through the middle, he had like 4 guys draped on him. Like he had stiff armed the safety down, and then he was trying to step over the safety while still running. I was like, man, this ain't
like
fair,
a dude on each shoulder. Like I was like, oh my goodness, this
ain't fair, man.
What are we doing, unreal.
Hey, so I got to tell everybody, when you're watching the post game pressers, our guy C-Dub is a part of that press conference, and he just got a question in.
Okay.
Show him some love on social media.
Right.
Go watch that. Comment when they post the video. I want everybody who's watching this, when they post the video on YouTube, just tag us in the comments of that video,
and then hashtag get your way. We just the whole War Rapport family just go crazy in the comments.
Flood the YouTube and let Auburn football know that this is your preferred community for chopping it up after the game. We want them to know we're in here. No fumbles,
none.
Yes, I can't stress
Ball
this enough.
Security,
we were worried about it. We were a little concerned after the second scrimmage when we heard about more fumbles. And I noticed Tank. I meant to comment during the game. I noticed Tank really holding on to the football again. Damn, LSU, you out here embarrassing us, man. You're not invited to the cookout.
They ain't embarrassing us. We're not the
SEC. Come on.
No, I don't. You know what? I saw somebody mention this. They asked when other SEC teams they play other conferences, do you root for them? I do not root for anybody.
It depends on who they're playing.
Yeah. I don't like Chip Kelly. So
I was not rooting for Miami today as much as I hate Bama. Now I would have laughed had Bama lost.
It's always going to be funny if they lose, but I'm not going to say Bama needs to murder Miami for SEC supremacy.
Yeah, I wasn't rooting for Miami. I was just like, I had an interest in seeing that game.
Yeah, this is our strength of schedule going down right here too.
Right, it's true. Do I care that Georgia beat Clemson today? Not really. I mean, whatever. Like, I just care how we look in the games. LSU looking terrible in this game, that makes me hate it for the SEC, because I'm like, I don't need the SEC looking. You can lose the game. Don't look weak in the game.
Don't look like, overmatched.
Getting run off the field is just not.
Yeah, because when we go to Baton Rouge,
38 points, man. Come on.
Yeah, when we go to Baton Rouge to play them, you want that to mean, so you want to beat a ranked LSU in their own house, right? So like this is a sad day for our strength of schedule. As much as Penn State bolstered our schedule a little bit tonight, LSU just kind of took some of the luster out of that.
LSU, Mississippi State, who else out here looking stupid?
Come on.
Doesn't matter. I mean, Mississippi State won. That's the main thing. Yeah, Georgia too. Yeah,
Georgia. No, Arkansas didn't look good today.
What is SRC?
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me read this again. Tired of people calling to the Feinbaum show to talk about how SRC is going down.
What's SRC? SEC. Okay, you mean SEC.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I just get tired of Feinbaum. The UGA only scored 3 points. Yeah,
on offense tonight.
On offense tonight. Yeah, like listen, that feels very 2019-esque of Auburn, right? I hope they play like that, in 5 weeks.
So somebody was asking, is Georgia's defense just that real? Like, it's too early to know, right? Because we thought Georgia's defense was really real when they made us look foolish last year, and they looked stupid the rest of the year when they started playing quality competition. Is Clemson starting to just see a dip? Like, have they come down off their high horse a little bit? That's the question I think we need to be asking.
Well, yeah, their backup went in the game when Trevor Lawrence got hurt and threw for like 450 yards and 4 touchdowns. So we all thought, okay, again, next man up over there. Is he
Jeremy Johnson though?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that they misevaluated him that bad, but they've got the rest of the season. This was a loss they can recover from,
for sure.
Right?
But you know what? I honestly think it needs to be their only loss. And see, this is the problem that Clemson runs into with being in this WAC conference that they're in,
is that they could stumble and still be okay because they're going to get the conference championship, right?
Correct.
They can't afford that typical Clemson stumble now.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've got to mop the floor with everybody and win the conference, because if they lose another game, they're done.
Yeah, they're done.
Because the ACC just doesn't have quality team. Who is the quality team in the ACC right now? Definitely in Miami.
Overrated. Yep.
Right.
In North Carolina, it's not even.
North Carolina either. Like, who is the quality team in that conference right now? It's got to be Clemson. So if Clemson stumbles at all, the ACC is out.
They're done. We know that they're not going to see another defense that good the entire season. So they have time to make it look
every year. Somebody creeps them. They're going to look now. They don't lose all those games, but they look real bad against somebody who they're supposed to walk the floor with.
Yeah, right.
Mop the floor with. Excuse me.
Yeah, they'll get the benefit of the doubt. You know, their total body work over the last few years has kind of earned them that. But you know, maybe that's starting to change a little bit.
And you know what though, I don't want to be too down on them. Well, no, because they held the other team to 3 points, so that's not the same thing at all.
I don't know if I would go that far.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but yeah, that's not the same. But
as far as them having to slip up every year against somebody,
right.
To lose
Oklahoma,
I see where you was going.
Yeah, Oklahoma consistently is bad at something that you need to be good at to win a championship. Like, I don't understand how one side of the ball. At Oklahoma, you are one of the, let's say, 5 preeminent college football programs in the country. You can't find one good defensive coordinator. Not one. None of them is out there. You can't go and snatch somebody and pay. Hey, listen, what are they paying you? We'll put another $500,000 on top of that. Come here, help get us good. People are pulling people from coaches from the NFL regularly. Hey, man, take one step down, come from a position coach to a defensive coordinator and get us together. That's what we did. You telling me there's nobody in the country. You still have the pick of the litter for an entire geographical region. The center of the United States is your oyster. Get the best guys you can get in that footprint. The Big 12 the entire Big 12 footprint was open to you. You can go into Texas and get what you want. You can get anything you need in the Midwest. Go get it.
Right.
And stop making this is embarrassing. I can see for a little while. We're struggling with this. We need to make some changes. Okay, cool. How long has it been?
Right.
Come on, man. We've been saying the same thing about Oklahoma for the last 5 years.
Hey, shout out Terrence Davis. We appreciate you, brother.
Wait a minute. Hold on. LSU giving up 38 points and their offensive line is looking bad.
Somebody else. We talked about that too, did we not?
Oh man, yeah. I think this is the most wrong I'll ever be this year.
No, you'll be more wrong. You will be more wrong, my friend.
I think I said that backwards. Definitely.
You will be more wrong. I promise you.
I don't know.
You got that one A&M pick and got so brave.
It was more than that.
Nah, not really. Nothing that was really in question.
That was a hell of a pick, though.
Okay, so we're gonna find out a lot about a lot of these teams as the weeks go by. Again, if you are not hip to it, man, you are watching the post-game reaction show here with the War Rapport. If you are just in here as an onlooker, and the reason why you cannot comment, it's really simple. It's because you have not signed up for a membership, and we have these memberships available. Only the members are in here getting their comment on right now. We appreciate each and every one of you all. It's over 300 of y'all in here rocking with us right now. And hey,
330. Like, so we're battling with JG over on his stream. Hey, he's rocking with 200. We got 350. So between the two of our channels, I think we got it covered. We got some people jumping back and forth too. I love it. And if you guys don't know, we love JG and Auburn Sports.
We're partnered with them.
Go back and forth. Give JG that love too, because JG's gonna have info that we don't have.
Yeah,
he always is. That is
him.
what he has earned working this beat for as long as he has. He helped us when we first got started at the beginning of this year when the channel got live and helped us get our footing. That's our partnership with Auburn Sports for the Wednesday Night War Room. We love JG, so go there.
JG
patronize him as well.
JG was our OG, right? Because he was the first to reach out and say, "Hey, I see what you fellas are doing."
Yeah.
this is good. And so we had him on, and then since then we've had just a kind of a blossoming relationship with his organization. So it's fun to be able to do this after the games with you all and involve you all. So a couple of you guys, I wanted to mention, a couple of you guys sent me DMs and emails saying that you saw Caesar down at the game in the free at the Tiger Walk, and Caesar wanted me to tell you guys he could not get to everybody, but we're planning something possibly for mid-season here where we'll all get a chance to be down in Auburn and meet with you guys and kind of do this in person. So
I think I'm going to make an announcement about some stuff that we've got coming up on Wednesday. So if you tune in Wednesday, we got an announcement about some stuff that's coming up. New member check-in, Charles Garrison. Thank you so much for jumping in with us. Welcome. We appreciate that so much. We appreciate all of you who are rocking with us, man. It's been a beautiful thing. First game. We got a lot of good things to talk about from tonight. Hopefully next week we'll have more great things to talk about. Tomorrow we will be right back here with you for our normal weekend tailgate show on Sunday, always at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. And then if you're a member, we're going to be doing some film breakdown on Monday night, man.
Yeah,
so
listen,
be beautiful.
I'm excited. You know what? I'm so excited. I'm going to start breaking down the film as soon as we get off here. We're going to start chopping that up, and then Ike and I will be at you guys Monday night to talk about what we saw. Look at it, look at the film, look at it in slow-mo, note some things. So we're going to take a closer look at the offensive line on Monday. Certainly, I know a lot of you have been asking questions about the O-line. How did we think the O-line played? Well, they passed the eye test tonight. But sometimes the film will tell something different, which is why we've decided to do these weekly film segments. Again, that will be insider only. So you definitely want to get the insider membership. That's not something we can make public because of reasons. But we definitely want everybody to be able to partake in that. And then when you are talking to somebody who does not know what the hell they're talking about, you could say, I saw the War Rapport. We looked at the film. You're wrong. Yeah, right. It is my personal mission to make sure that everybody is smarter about what they're watching, because people watch the game, but not a lot of people watch the film. Truly watch the film. There's a difference between watching the game and watching the film.
There's a difference in the way people watch the game too. Like I just, fundamentally, I see people comment about stuff, and I'm like, y'all, you were not watching the same game I was watching.
Yeah, you didn't watch it.
That's just blatantly not what happened. Like it just ain't. Like I even saw like announcers tonight were saying stuff, and they would make a comment after the play. I was like, that's not even what happened on the play. What are you talking? Like, were y'all watching, or you're so involved in whatever conversation you were having that you didn't actually pay attention to what happened on that play? Because that's not what just happened. It frustrates me sometimes just hearing and watching people talk about games and just like, y'all ain't paying attention.
They ain't watching.
I learned a little too much about Akron's coach instead of seeing what our defense was doing and hearing them call the names of the people whose jersey I could not see. I was looking when we had our second team in there. I'm looking to see, okay, who made that tackle, who played that a little bit wrong. But I mean, they get up and they put the camera on the player for a moment. But if it's not the back of his jersey, I don't know who that is, but I sure do see the coach that's down 52-0 looking down at his clipboard, looking for a play to dial up and hearing about how he played in Arena League in Canada. Like, man, I don't care.
He stood next to Peyton Manning for a half a seat. Like, nobody cares, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I hear about our dudes.
Man, these you guys got me wanting to watch this. I had to pull up this LSU game here on my other screen. I've got to watch it now because you guys are calling out the screens.
Talk about that. The announcers were giving all kinds of praise to Big Cat.
Listen, I'm like, doing nothing, bro. You guys don't
I watched the UCF Twitter feed, laud, applause, and praise on Big Cat, and I was like, for what?
What? He had like 2.5 tackles.
And like, let's forget the fact that he doesn't actually produce stats. What did he do to impact that game?
It was him chasing Bachmeier when he threw the pick at the end of the game.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about that play right there.
All right.
He held the receiver, number one, which was the
outlet. Clotheslined him. He clotheslined the receiver.
Absolutely held that. That should have flag right there, number one. And he still whiffed on getting Bachmeier because Bachmeier should not have even. He should have just thrown the ball away instead of throwing the stupid. That was not because of Big Cat. The only reason that play was impacted by Big Cat was because he held the daggone receiver that was leaking out. That's it. Big Cat was not where he was supposed to be on that play because he had one of two assignments. He either had the quarterback or he had that leak out receiver. And he didn't actually do anything for either of them because Bachmeier got to the outside of him. He was supposed to be contained for the quarterback if that was him, or he was supposed to be on that receiver. He missed both of them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Listen. And I wouldn't go at Big Cat like that if he hadn't opened his freaking mouth.
But I don't understand. The announcers were saying stuff like, he's going to be such an impact player for this.
Nothing.
Yeah, and I was like, what? I was like, y'all know he got like averages like
nothing.
6 tackles a year? Like, did they understand this man's history? They just be out there talking for some reason. But I guess if it's UCF, who else you going to talk about?
Bro,
right? I mean, he walked in it.
They had some people circled from who came from the SEC.
Right.
Because ESPN is buddies with the SEC. We all know that relationship is strong. So they had some people circle. Oh, followed Gus to UCF from Auburn in the SEC. And they talked that up. We heard about Mark Anthony Richards. I knew what school he came from because even if I didn't know, they mentioned where he came from. The same thing with Domio. That's why I knew who it was. I heard those names a lot. Outside of the people who were touching the ball a lot, they made sure to mention that these guys came from Auburn. I told you, I've been having worked in the Student Center on Auburn's campus. I've seen the ESPN crews. They set up in there. They have breakfast if it's an early game or they have lunch if it's an afternoon game. They go, okay, we got to make sure to mention this guy. Make sure to mention this guy and his story. We got a nice story. Make sure we're read up on that. They had their homework done. Mention these guys and where they came from because they came from the SEC, and they made sure to mention it.
And they all get fed the same few narratives, which is why every game we heard about where Jared Stidham came from for freaking 11 games straight. Every time he was on TV, they talked about the same Jared Stidham story. I was like,
he's from Texas, right?
We know
he's from Jared Stidham's from Texas. He's from Texas.
Right.
I was like, oh my God, will y'all find something else to talk It was about. Every game, bro. Bo's first season, it was a Bo, and then you see his dad up in the we get it. His dad played for Auburn, bro. Like I promised.
Sullivan, yeah, he did. He tweeted about couch coaches. He was just like, just so all the couch coaches know there's four quarters in a game, right? And I was dying. I was just dying because you tweeting out like you guys won it and Boise State didn't lose it.
Yeah.
Boise State lost that game. That's not a flex. That game was not a flex for them.
They're entitled to feel good about a win.
I guess.
Listen, the defense should definitely take a lot of credit for what happened in that game. Big kudos to Travis because they bowed up after looking real shaky early in that game.
Yeah. Yeah, but the I'm telling you, dude, I was laying in bed watching this game going crazy over the play calling. 3 straight drives. They called like inside draws right up the middle, delayed inside draws. Credit to Travis. He came after them and they stopped it.
Yeah.
But I just didn't understand, Bachmeier was doing pretty good. I didn't understand why they took the ball out of his hands so much in the third quarter. And then when they were backed up on their own goal line, he threw an absolute strike on and out and the receiver dropped it. Would have been a first down.
They gave that game away. They dropped an interception that definitely killed all momentum. But yeah, they gave the game away. Yeah, Same thing with Wisconsin, man. Gave the game away. Like, I'm not giving no whole bunch of credit to teams that were out there like pissing games away, bro. Like, that's just not. I don't.
Yeah, facts. So I mean, it was curious. I think when the coaches look at the film, when they go back and look at how they called that third quarter, they're going to. That's the biggest improvement was for them.
Who is the offensive coordinator at Boise? Because it can't be Andy Avalos. He's a defensive guy.
No, I don't know. Yeah, when they look back at the film, they're going to be like, yeah, we blew it. Right? We blew it. Because as soon as they turned it back up in the fourth quarter, they were moving the ball again. So, I mean, the difference that coaching makes, guys. That coaching makes.
They basically were like, we've got a big lead. Let's try to
win into ball control.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
we lost a national championship that way.
Yes.
We quite literally lost the national championship game in the third quarter doing exactly that. Yikes, man.
Coaching to not lose has never won anybody a game.
Yeah.
You always lose when you start coaching to not lose. Like it's inevitable. Players start to tighten up, and then once the game starts to get tight again, you've lost the edge that you had that was getting that put that big lead. And then it's like every little thing becomes amplified, like every mistake you get. And now it's just, and then it's like, oh crap, you win the game, bro. Go just keep winning until there ain't no more winning to be done because the game's over with.
Yeah, facts. I don't know. So this, again, lots of compelling storylines here as the season goes on. We're going to be with you for every little bit of it this season. Can't stress enough. We're bringing you content.
Ball game, UCLA won.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they're kneeling out the clock now. 38-27. So yeah, we're going to be here with you for every single bit of it. I think we're bringing content 6 days a week, Isaac.
Yeah, so let's see, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Only day we're not doing something is on Tuesday.
Tuesday, Tuesday is your Sabbath from the War Rapport, right? But we are going to be bringing content here. It's going to be some interesting for the records that we're going to be dropping as the season comes along. Those segments will be more focused on in season numbers and how they match up to how we've traditionally done 1 week in, 2 weeks in against certain opponents, right? So we're going to be bringing you guys those sorts of for the records. It's going to be a really, really good content. So
same thing with Facts or Nah. They're going to be very like what we're talking about for the next game, right? So we're going to try to make them relevant so that we can see kind of how much we know what we're talking about, or make some bold predictions as we get into game week, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how those Facts or Nah. We still need y'all to keep submitting your questions to us on Twitter. Hashtag Facts or Nah at the War Rapport on Twitter. Make sure y'all doing that.
Yeah, listen, this was a great week one. I'm glad that they did not ruin my weekend.
Yeah.
With this one, I'm glad that we didn't have one of those wins that felt like a loss.
Right.
We had a win that felt like a win tonight, and that's a good step in the right direction for Auburn moving forward. So, fellas, you guys got anything else in closing? It's about midnight
man. But
here on the East Coast.
To get up out of here, man. Y'all got some people have partying to do, man. Y'all go have fun and enjoy this win. Because I'm definitely not gonna get a chance to again. I'm on daddy duty. He done passed out over here in the corner. I gotta go get him in the bed and all that. So
well, listen, everybody, we'll be back at you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 Central, with the normal weekend tailgate show. And then we'll have some more numbers and things that we'll go a little bit more in depth on what we saw tonight. So
for sure.
We're signing off. War Rapport out.
War Eagle.